So it's not been a very good last couple of weeks when it comes to just like fucking horrible allegations. Obviously, there was an allegation about a coach fucking impregnating a teenager before she was in the UFC. Then it was domestic abuse. So first one was statutory rape, then domestic abuse. Now we've gone to full blown rape allegations. And yeah, this is like a very serious topic, obviously, and I'm not going to be taking any sides or anything here. I'm just going to say what I can find out from what we've heard so far. It's a very serious allegation. I'm not going to say that, Alex Pay did it or he didn't do it. This girl's lying. She's telling the truth. I'm just going to just talk about what is out there right now because this is obviously a very new topic that's come out. But it's a very serious one, of course. So, yeah, anyway, let's just play the clip of this woman talking about the allegation she's making against Alex Pereira.
Pereira's assistant. Okay, this is like my 40th time trying to make this video, so I'm going to try to do it again without crying. Alex Pereira's assistant, translator, I don't know who he is to him. His name is Mel. My friend followed him on Instagram over 2 months ago. He DMs her after she follows him, asks her questions like how long she had been doing kickboxing for, how she got into it, stuff like that. He asks her if she's going to the fight in New Jersey that we went to. I don't know what number it was. I'm not into it like that, like she is. This was my first time ever meeting Alex or knowing who he was. I'm not a huge UFC fan. I just got into it because my friend was into it.
Now, I do want to address one bit now. This obviously doesn't completely rule out, anything, but she does have a post up. And I'm not going to show this because she quite literally fucking flashes herself. But she's at the UFC right there. Obviously, she went to UFC 299. Okay, I'm gonna stop that video right fucking now because she does flash herself, and I'm not gonna have this video taken down. But yeah, obviously she's at the event here. And if you look, she tags Sugar Sean, she tags Tim Welch, Barstools, Sugar Sean, Sean O'Malley, Cheeto, MMA, UFC 299, UFC 29, Dana White, Kevin Holland, Dustin Poirier. I don't know. I feel like if you're knowing, like, obviously I get that UFC 299, they had Dustin Poirier, Kevin Holland on there, but like, I feel like if you're tagging all them accounts, like, sure you would know who Alex Pereira is. He's quite literally like probably the biggest name in the sport, outside of Conor McGregor, like, who's still active at this point in time. Now, I'm not saying this completely rules out that she's telling the truth or this means she's a liar, but I do just think that is maybe something to be cautious about. Like, she's obviously knows somewhat about UFC. I mean, she's been to 2 events. Obviously, you could just say that, yeah, her friend is just, hooked her up with the tickets. That's a possibility. But I did just think it was worth mentioning that maybe she does know a bit more about MMA than she lets on. But anyway, I'm going to let her keep speaking.
Alex's assistant, translator, best friend, whoever he was, his name is Mel, asks my friend if she wants to meet up with him in New Jersey when...
I also want to mention that obviously his main translator is... I forgot what his name, but he's the big bloke. His name's not Mel, but he does have a teammate called Melvin who speaks English and Portuguese and trains with him and is always with him as well. So I believe that's who she's talking about. So I don't think that is a key part, I feel like, where a lot of people are saying, well, he wasn't with his main translator. But, I mean, obviously there is some evidence there. Not that he's done anything, but that she does seem to know about Melvin, which is not like a guy that many people know about. But also you could just easily find him by going through Alex Pereira's Instagram. But anyway, I'll let her keep talking here. Yeah.
She goes to the fight. He also says that Alex is wondering if she has a friend for him. I know it sounds stupid and unbelievable because I couldn't believe it myself. Why is this guy asking a 20-year-old girl to put him on with one of her friends when he's...
Now, I do want to say, that is a weird thing to say, obviously. Like, 20, why would it... like, 20 is quite literally illegal. Like, you're legal. You're an adult. Yeah, you can't drink at that age in America, but you're, like, still an adult. You've been an adult for 3 years at that point, so... or 2 years. So, yeah, that is a bit where it's, like, maybe she's, like, sort of, like, trying to play the victim a little bit here. Like, it's not that odd when you think about it. Like, Alex Pereira is, like, what, 36 or something? I know that... I guess that is technically a little weird, but she's making it sound like, you know, illegal, where it's not, but it's still, you know... I'll let her keep talking.
A 30-year-old, however, father who should be able to just, like, talk to a woman his age at the fight. It was planned out on purpose because he does this all the time.
Now, I want to know how does she know that? She doesn't know who Alex Pereira is. She doesn't know who Alex Pereira is. Like, how would she know that he's always doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe she knows more than she's letting on, but yeah, anyway, I'll let her continue.
My friend sends Mel, the assistant and the translator, whoever he was, he never really gave us an explanation who he was. She sends him my Instagram. Mel shows Alex my Instagram. Apparently, the only thing he said was chama. I'll try and find the text proof where my friend was telling me this.
Now, that is a very Alex Pereira response. You know, but I mean, I think everybody knows that he just says charmer, but like, Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Which is disgusting now that I know what his intent was. We go to New Jersey. Mel hits up my friend, invites us both to a private training at a gym called Cruise MMA, where Alex is training. We're the only women in there except for this older woman who's married to one of the people that's also sparring. I'm hoping I can find security footage. My friend spars with him. I videotape the whole time, and I'm sitting down watching. I can post the video that I took also, where my friend is sparring with him. Him and Mel take me and my friend outside of the gym that we were in after the training session. He comes on to me, goes behind me, looks at my ass, and approves to his translator, which is also disgusting now that I know what his intent was, like I was cattle or something.
Now, I wouldn't get what... So it wasn't disgusting when she knew his what's it called? His intent. Like, what did she think he was just... Like, it wasn't disgusting before she knew that he was, like, trying to smash? Like, I don't understand the context of that, personally. That just seems a bit odd. Like, yeah, he's like approving your ass, but no, that's fine. But if he dare wants to smash me, that's when it gets weird. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit odd, personally. But anyway.
Mind you, this man doesn't speak any English. I don't know what he's saying the entire time. His translator is translating for me everything he's saying and everything I'm saying. He tries to kiss me outside of Cruise MMA gym. I grab his face and I push him away. I will try to find security footage from a building around it if possible. We leave the training. They then invite us to like a meeting or like something that was outside where they were like signing stuff, I guess. I don't know. But we turned it down because it was outside and it was super hot and we had already done our makeup and gotten ready for the UFC fight that night. So they then invite us to dinner before the UFC fight. We were going to go out, according to them, but he sends us an address, and our Uber takes us to a very nice hotel where Alex is staying, and a bunch of, I guess, UFC fighters are also there. His assistant and translator, Mel, brings us into this fancy hotel. I can find security footage proof of this also. And it's just a bunch of like UFC people sitting in a circle, and Alex looks up at us, looks angry as fuck, and tells his assistant Mel to take us out of the hotel. And everyone is looking at us like, who are these girls? Why are they here? I don't know either. I'm just like there because they asked us to, and like I didn't realize they were bad people. He makes us leave the hotel, and he brings us to the Courtyard Marriott across the street from it. They have 2 hotel rooms that they have already bought for that night, which is disgusting. It was all planned out. They take us to the Courtyard Marriott across the street from the actual hotel that Alec is staying at. We go to the restaurant in the like lobby of the Courtyard Marriott. I can find security footage proof of this also. They buy us a flatbread pizza, and then they ask, well, Mel is asking all of this. Alex doesn't speak any English, he's just translating. Mel asks us how old we are. I said, I'm 21. My friend says that she's 20 years old, not old enough to drink alcohol. So he talks to Alex, tells him how old we say we are, and then they buy us, I think, 2 glasses of wine. So, mind you, they're buying alcohol for a 20-year-old girl that is not old enough to drink alcohol, and this is on security footage. Didn't make me sign an NDA before he did any of this, like, just did it, because he does this all the time, probably. It was so routine and planned out.
I mean, I want to just say that the whole law that Americans can't drink when they're like 18 is just pretty stupid anyway, but obviously it is the law, but I feel like it is just a very stupid law, right? You can go and buy guns, you can join the military, you can fucking drive, but you can't drink alcohol until you're 21. I've always thought that was a stupid law, but anyway, sorry, stay out of it.
They're giving us drinks. Alex won't get off of me. I'm not into it because I don't know this man. I don't like being touched if I am not, like, if I don't know you and I'm not comfortable with you. Even if you're my family member, I just don't like being touched. I'm starting to get tipsy and I feel sick because I don't do well when I drink. But I'm trying to calm my nerves. He won't get off of me. He keeps asking me to go to the bathroom with him, or he's asking Mel, and Mel is telling me this, so I guess this is how he gets away with it, because he didn't technically, well, no, because he did it. He just technically didn't say any of it to my face. He said it through his translator, and his translator said it to my face, but his translator wasn't the one who assaulted me. He's telling his translator to ask me to go to the bathroom with him. I'm telling him no, because I don't do that. I get uncomfortable and nervous, and as much as you guys think that I'm this, like, whore, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok. As much as you guys think these things about me just because of the line of work that I do, I just do what I have to do to make ends meet. That has nothing to do with anything. I don't put out the first time meeting somebody because I have a lot of trauma and I get nervous and scared. I will try to find security footage. Legally, they have to be able to pull this up, right? Like, Alex can't, like, somehow, like, get it erased. That would literally not be fair. I'm gonna try my hardest to find the security footage. If it actually ends up, like, going to court or, like, something happens, I don't know what I was expecting. I just posted it because I just wanted to talk about it. I go to the bathroom with my friend after Alex has been coming on to me the whole night, and I feel sick and uncomfortable and like I'm about to throw up. I tell her in the bathroom, at no point during this whole entire visit with these people are you to leave me, because I'm not comfortable. We agree that we won't leave each other at any point, because...
Now, I want to just mention, why not just leave the fucking situation if you're uncomfortable? Like, you're out in the bathroom, right? Like, can't you just, like, fucking sneak away if you're very uncomfortable? Like, I'm not blaming this woman, you know, I don't know what's going through her head. Maybe she's scared that, you know, he is quite literally the UFC light heavyweight champion. Maybe he's going to hurt her, but you'd have fight or flight in that moment if you're that uncomfortable. You'd have anxiety. You'd want to flee. You'd want to flight. You know, you'd want to get the fuck out of there, right? Like, obviously I'm not justifying if anything happened. Like it's still awful if anything did, but like you've had so many situations where it seemed like quite literally could have got out of there, right? But I don't know. It's obviously a tricky situation, especially for a guy to talk about it, because we don't have to deal with this to this extent. Most UFC fighters are straight males. Maybe some aren't. Who knows? But it would be pretty fucking terrifying, especially Alex Pereira, one of the scariest men in the world. But anyway, sorry, I'll let her keep speaking.
Mel, the assistant and the translator, is also hitting on my friend, who's 20 years old. I don't know how old this man was. I'm trying to tell Alex's assistant to tell Alex that I don't put out like that after I meet someone for the very first time, and that I need him to get to know me and to work for it. I, quote, said to his translator, trying not...
Oh, fuck.
Who's gonna... laughs, tells Alex, and Alex tells his assistant to tell us that he really likes us and he's going to take us on a trip to the Dominican Republic to get to know us better, because I guess he's trying to like convince me that he's not, just trying to take advantage of me. So I'm like, okay, like that's great. I don't have a passport. Like, can you like let me know like when this is happening so I can like pack and like get ready for it? Like, I mean, I make my own money and I don't need this man's money. It's not me trying to get his money. I literally could not care less if I don't get anything out of this except for to find my own voice again. I just wanted to talk about my story. I was not expecting his fans to be as bad as he is, but I guess I should have known. We have to split up because it's time to go to the UFC fight. His translator and Alex go on their own. Me and my friend take an Uber. It goes terribly. The fight ends. Afterwards, his assistant Mel sends an Uber to our location after the UFC fight and brings us back to the courtyard Marriott where we were gonna go out. We were gonna go there, and they were gonna drive us. And they were talking about going to, I don't know. They were talking about going to strip clubs, and they were.
Okay, so I know that was a very long explanation, but in this context, I guess we sort of need a long explanation. But like, she spent a whole day with him, right? I just think that in a situation like that, you're sort of putting yourself in that situation. Like, you've had plenty of opportunities to escape it, and I'm not saying it means that Alex is definitely innocent, but it just, I don't know. I don't know. It screams of like, you could have done something. You could have got out of there. But again, I'm a guy. I'm not gonna act like I know what goes through the head of women when they're in hypothetical situations like this. But that's not all she had to say. There's another 8-minute clip, and I guess because I've already played the first one, I might as well finish it off soon.
He asked. Just to be clear also, that picture that I posted where everyone is saying that it looks like I'm a fan that asked him to take a picture with me, I did not ask for that picture. I asked for no pictures. I didn't know who this man was. My friend asked for pictures with him after asking me to record her sparring with him, and then he asked on everyone that I know and love's life. He asked for pictures with me. I did not ask for those pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend after he asked to take the pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend to have me send the pictures to her, and then she sends it to my assistant because he wanted the pictures, because it was probably a trophy for him. I did not ask for those pictures. That's besides the point. But basically, his assistant sends us an Uber to where we are after the UFC fight and brings us back to the courtyard Marriott, where we were supposed to be waiting for Alex to get back from an interview, I think he said, and then we were going to go out. He was talking about going to strip clubs and like having a fun night while we were all in New Jersey, New York for the weekend. We wait for like 2 hours for Alex to come while his friend is on the phone talking about like kids with cancer and big money transfers and things that had to do with Alex. And we were like, hey, it's getting kind of late. Like, is Alex coming? Like, what's the plan? Should we just go back home because we're kind of tired? Like, if we're going to have plans, can we like get on with it because it's already getting very late. At this point, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. Eventually, Alex comes to the hotel room after the interview that he was at, and he says that he doesn't want to go out. He wants to enjoy the time that he has with the people he's with. Some bullshit like that. And then he takes off his clothes, gets into bed, orders food, and then is trying to get me to get into bed with him. My friend and me and the translator are all sitting on the couch, and he's just sitting in bed staring at me and telling his translator to tell me things and trying to convince me to get into bed with him. I eventually get into bed with him because I was naive, I guess. I didn't think that anything was going to happen. My friend...
Now, that is definitely very naive. I mean, I think if the guy's taking his clothes off and trying to get you into his bed and you've been claiming that he's been trying to, like, you know, kiss you and talk, like, all this stuff to you, like, I think it's just common logic, right? Like, what he wants if he's fucking naked in the bed, like right, like, I was not,
there with,
you know, I hope it's not, I'm not being insensitive, that's what I'm looking for. But, like, clearly if the guy's doing that, it's not something you should be, like, getting into fucking bed. Maybe you should be like, okay, I think now it's time I get out of here now, right? Like, you didn't have to lay in bed with him when he's naked. I don't know, I don't know, it's a weird situation. I'm not saying that this, you know, it's proof that he didn't do it or he did do it. I'm just going to keep repeating that because I know I'll have someone saying I'm victim blaming or something like that, but I'm trying to look at it from if I was in this situation. And I know I'm a guy, so it's a completely different point of view that I would have. And, you know, it would be very scary. But I know as somebody with anxiety, if you're in a situation like that that's making you very anxious, very nervous, then you get the fuck out of there. Like, that's just sort of common logic. It's called fight or flight. You're not going to fight fucking Alex Pereira, so you have to you have to flee. And I know you can sort of freeze in those situations, but there was just so many options there where you could have got out of there. But again, just in case this is true, I don't want to keep going in like that because, you know, if this is true, then, like, it is obviously a very terrible thing. But anyway, I'm going to keep playing.
I had told her not to leave me at any point. She had told me not to leave her with the assistant at any point. I thought that we were going to be fine. I thought I was going to be able to maybe try and get myself comfortable by getting into bed with him and cuddling with him if there was people in the room. I just have problems of my own. I have trauma. This is not the first time that this has happened to me. It's just naive, I guess.
I mean, obviously it's very naive that you would think that cuddling with a naked man is going to make him calm down. Like, yeah, that is obviously very naive. But anyway.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I got into bed with him. My friend was there. So was the assistant. I thought I was going to be fine. He starts touching me down there repeatedly. I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off. I keep bringing his hand back up to, like, my waist so that we can just, like, cuddle because I'm comfortable with cuddling. I'm not comfortable with putting out with somebody that I don't know. I just met literally for the first time. He's huge, scary, doesn't speak any of my language, and I wasn't comfortable putting out with him because that's just not what I do. He keeps touching me. I keep pushing him off. Eventually, me and my friend say that we're very tired and we would like to go to sleep. They turn all the lights off. My friend and the assistant get into bed. It's a queen-size bed that they get into. I'm in a queen-size bed right next to it with Alex. Me and my friend are on the inside of the bed looking at each other under the blankets. He keeps pulling the blanket over me, keeps trying to touch me. I feel suffocated. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. I've pushed him off so many times at this point, and he's not taking the hint, and these men are clearly not caring about my comfortability. Mind you, again, I don't know...
I mean, but he doesn't speak English. Like he does, she hasn't once said that she told the translator, tell him to stop, that I'm uncomfortable or anything like that. Yeah, she's pushing him off and everything like that. So I guess, that is still obviously a bit weird, but like the guy doesn't fucking speak English, like I don't know. The guy literally doesn't speak fucking English. Like, tell the translator you didn't want him doing that, I feel like. But again, he was touching her without her permission, I guess, but I don't know, that's just something I noticed. Like, there's multiple times where she could have just told the fucking translator, tell him to stop, but she never did do that. I don't know, it feels like there is a lot of moments where she could have really, like, it didn't seem like she properly tried to stop Alex Pereira, if you get what I mean. Like, yeah, she, like, pushed his hands off, but she never actually told him, no, like, stop. Which is still obviously not justified that he's touching her. That is still very weird if that is true, but anyway.
I was thinking I was naive, I guess. I guess you could say I asked for it by getting into bed with him. I didn't know that this was going to happen. I'm pushing him off of me. He won't get off. He eventually pulls my underwear and my pants down to around, like, halfway on my thighs, and I push him off again. He gets out of bed. He starts screaming and putting his socks and his clothes on. I'm terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out. And he starts telling his translator that he doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him and my friend, and that he wants them to leave. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. He immediately starts trying to take my clothes off. He starts trying to take my socks off. I try to tell him no, because I have blisters on my feet from walking around New York in heels for like 10 hours the night before, and I had band-aids on my blisters, and they were going to get ripped off with my socks. I tried to explain to him, don't take my socks off, please. He didn't understand that. So at that point, I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm in a room with a huge man that doesn't speak English. He's not understanding what I'm saying. He doesn't give a fuck because I've pushed him off so many times, and he doesn't care. And he, like, got up and screamed and scared me into staying in the room with him and making his assistant and my friend leave the room. At this point, I know what's happening. I've been through this before. I know that it's just easiest if I just shut my mouth, do what I have to, put on whatever performance that I have to make it end. He puts me on top of him so that we're...
I don't know if I want to play the rest of this. It gets pretty graphic. But pretty much he just says, like he does anal sex with her, and apparently he finally speaks in English and says, like, put it back in. Like, that was the only word he ever said in English, was like, put it back in, which Alex Pereira doesn't speak any English at all, but I mean, people are acting like, oh, I don't know, Alex couldn't learn that. Like, I mean, he definitely could. It's not that hard of a thing to say, but I don't know, this is pretty like serious allegations. It's pretty disturbing. Like, that's why I don't want to, like, go too much more into this, to be honest, because, like, yeah, it is a very serious situation, and I don't want to, like, accuse this woman of lying and, you know, all this stuff, and then it comes out it's true. She claims she has evidence, but she hasn't released that evidence. You know, the burden of proof is on her. I see a lot of people saying that they'll believe her, but it's like, it's innocent until proven guilty. It's not guilty until proven innocent. So I think we just need to find out what happens. Hopefully, if she's got proof, she can bring that proof out, or whatever it is. But yeah, obviously this is a serious situation. I'm not saying that Alex Pereira didn't or did do it. I'm going to keep repeating that, because last time I made a video like this, somebody said I was victim blaming when I wasn't. So yeah, in this case, I can understand if someone thought that. I'm just, like, saying in situations where she could have got out of there, but I'm not saying it's her fault. But Like, there was obviously a lot of scenarios where she could have got out of there, but I don't know. It's just a weird one. It's a weird case. I hope it's not true. Obviously, I would much prefer that this chick was making it up. That it be that Alex Pereira has done anything like this, because obviously Alex Pereira does a lot of good things with like cancer patients and people with cancers and stuff like that, but also sort of Jimmy Savile. I'm not comparing Alex Pereira and Jimmy Savile before anyone says that. Like, Jimmy Savile was quite literally a fucking serial pest with multiple allegations over the years. But I'm just saying, just because somebody does charity doesn't necessarily mean that they're innocent. But just as an outsider looking in, I'm not saying that this means that it's definite, but it does seem there is like a lot of inconsistencies with her story. Like her claiming she doesn't know anything about the UFC, yada yada, but she has been to UFC events before. Like, that just seems a little odd to me, personally. Like, she knows Sean O'Malley, she knows Kevin Holland. I know she was watching them fight, but she knew enough to like tag them all in the fucking hashtags, like the well-known fighters on the card too. Like, it's not like she was tagging Benoit Saint Denis or fucking JDM or Gilbert Burns in the fucking hashtags. It was all the main fighters. Like, she even tagged Kevin Holland, who's like got a pretty big name. She didn't tag MVP, who literally won, you know what I mean? But again, burden of proof is on her. If she's got the evidence, put the evidence out. But until then, I guess these are all allegations. It's innocent until proven guilty, but obviously very serious situation. And yeah, if it's true, then like obviously there needs to be some due diligence here. There needs to be, some punishment. But again, we need evidence and stuff like that first. So we need an investigation. I also don't like this whole culture of if someone like sexually assaults you, you go to TikTok. Like, she hasn't mentioned anything about going to the police or reporting the crime or anything. She immediately goes to TikTok. That's just always an interesting coping mechanism for me. Like, if these allegations are true and you keep claiming in the video that I'm sure he's done it to multiple people, it's like this was routine for him, all this stuff, why would you not report him if that's the case, right? Like, would you not just report him and then you could say like, yeah, look, I'm literally going to court over this. Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Nobody was there except for her, Alex Pereira, her friend, and the coach or training partner. But again, that's 2 and 2. We're gonna get fucking 2 sides of the same story from 2 people. Same majority rules. This is a literal draw when it comes to it. This is the 2v2 scenario. Her friend hasn't come out and said anything, I don't think. But I don't think this is going to be a situation that just goes away. I think there's going to be an investigation and everything like that. But obviously, very serious situation here. I know people are going to probably assume I'm picking sides here, but I'm just like speaking as like an outside observer of like some of the things some inconsistencies. I will say, obviously, she's right about the gym that Pereira was training at, the hotel. It seemed like all of that was true. Even the training partner, Melvin, is the lesser known translator he's got, so yeah, just a very weird situation. Alex Pereira, I don't think, come out and said anything about this. So maybe when that happens, then we can get we can get answers. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, sorry, I completely blanked out there, sorry. Yeah, if Alex Pereira, I'm just going to look at Alex Pereira's Instagram. I don't believe he's put out anything. The last thing he has is a video of him and Mark Zuckerberg. Is he putting his stories out? Yeah, it's just him training. Yeah, I don't know. This is just an interesting situation. Not a good interesting either. This is just a fucked up situation. Hopefully it's not true. I hope not. But I guess we'll find out more in the future. But people who are going to come out there and, claim Alex Pereira's a rapist and all these horrible things, like, just look into the story a bit more first before you go in there casting judgment. She claims she has proof. If she doesn't go in there and show any proof, that I do believe that she did make this up, because she's already claiming she's had proof. The fact she's claiming that means that this is all on her. If she can go show the evidence, then sure. But the fact that if she doesn't go and show any evidence, then I think it's fair to say that she's probably making these allegations up. But we'll find out further in the future. But yeah, sorry, I'm trying to talk about this situation without completely like shitting on this woman, because obviously I did sort of like make some talking points of like why Alex Pereira is probably could be innocent, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I wasn't there. This is just my outside perspective. If it does come out, I'll be the first to condemn, not condone. I'll be the first to condemn Alex Pereira for his actions, but again, more needs to come out before we can go throwing stones and casting the first stone at Alex Pereira. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, she's an OnlyFans worker, so that means she definitely is making it up, which not necessarily true. Like, sex workers can and typically are the like biggest victims of sexual assault. Not so much OnlyFans. I'm more talking like prostitutes. I'm not saying this woman is a prostitute, but like I'm just saying that argument. Like, yeah, she's a sex worker. She can't be sexually assaulted. That's not necessarily true, but at the same time, just because Alex Pereira is a fighter doesn't mean he's a fucking violent sexual assaulter. You know what I mean? But anyway, this video's gone on too long. I know most people aren't going to watch the whole thing. They're probably going to watch the first half and think that I'm like just like one-sided for Alex Pereira, but I'm trying to be as objective 50-50 as I can be. But like I say, I'm just like looking at it how I can. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, and if more evidence comes out, maybe I'll make a follow-up. But I'm trying to just cover this as objectively as possible. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Holy shit, that went for long. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know, not a very serious video. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.